Lust is silently destroying you alive. Not with fangs, not with blades, but with chains you don't even see. Every time you give in, it steals a piece of you, your focus, your confidence, your peace. You think you're free, but you're not. You're just feeding a hunger that grows stronger every night. And each time you feed it, you shrink. But hey, what's one more scroll at 1 a.m. between you and soul decay? Hunters in solo leveling knew this feeling. The double dungeon didn't just kill with statues, it tempted. Gold, power, shadows, the promise of more. And by season 2, even Jin-Woo's eyes start to change. One more shadow, one more level, one more kill. That's not power, that's weakness wearing a mask. And today, we're gonna rip it off. Because this isn't just about Jin-Woo, it's about you. Lust never shows you the price on the tag until you've already paid. You know the moment, midnight, you're tired, you should sleep. But a voice whispers, just one more scroll, just one more tab. You tell yourself, I deserve this, but that wasn't a reward. That was the bait. Temptation doesn't scream, it negotiates. According to psychologist Dr. Roy Baumeister, willpower is a muscle, and fatigue breaks it down. Lust doesn't attack when you're strong. It waits until you're tired, alone, off guard. It doesn't ask for much, just a piece of your focus, your discipline, your future, until suddenly you've lost the war without even realizing you were in one. Remember Solo Leveling? Season 2? Jin-Woo stands over Kim Chul's broken body. He didn't want to kill him, but the voice inside whispers, if he falls, I gain another shadow. This wasn't about survival, it was about acquisition. And Jin-Woo, quiet, calculating, lets it happen. Not because he needed to, but because the hunger told him it was worth it. You've had a hard day, you tell yourself, one harmless scroll, one little hit of dopamine, but you're not relaxing, you're relapsing. That voice saying, I deserve this? Yeah, it's the same one that said you'd only spend 10 minutes on TikTok. It lies. This isn't freedom, it's strategic slavery. Lust doesn't break you instantly. It trains you to self-destruct, one yes at a time. So, the next time the urge hits, don't argue with it. Interrupt it. Stand up. Move. Break the rhythm. Ask, is this helping me or feeding something I'll regret? Because, like Jin-Woo, every shadow you absorb costs you something. Lust doesn't just want your time, it wants your soul. You think you're leveling up, grinding, hustling, winning, but deep down, something's off. You don't feel stronger, you feel hungrier. Like, no matter how much you get, it's never enough. At first, it looked like growth, but now it looks like addiction in disguise. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation, the tendency to return to a baseline of desire no matter how much you achieve. What once thrilled you becomes your new normal, so you chase harder and feel less. Lust works exactly the same. It promises fulfillment, but delivers emptiness. Jin-Woo's hands tremble as he opens his stat screen, eyes glowing, breath sharp, not from fear, but need. Every level up sound becomes a hit, every stat point a drug. The system whispers, you're getting stronger, but in reality, he's getting hooked. His power's rising, but so is his dependence. Maybe for you, it's not stats, it's likes, or work sprints, or swiping like there's a soulmate on level 100. You tell yourself, I'm building, but if the grind is just numbing emptiness, you're not chasing greatness, you're running from lack. Because nothing screams inner peace like refreshing your follower count every 3 minutes. Jin-Woo wasn't just hunting monsters. He was battling his own need to feel powerful. And here's the twist. That need, that was the real enemy. Lust doesn't destroy you with failure. It destroys you with progress that poisons you. So start noticing when progress feels frantic instead of focused. Check your motives. Are you building or proving something you're afraid you don't have. Use reverse ambition. Instead of asking, how much more can I get? Ask, what can I master without needing more? Because true power isn't about getting stronger, it's about not needing strength to feel whole. You thought you were in control, but now you're not even sure who's pulling the strings. It starts simple. You make a choice, you give in. Just once, you're sure you're the one deciding. But then it becomes a pattern, then a habit, then an identity. You keep saying, I can stop anytime, but every night proves otherwise. In The Power of Habit, the cue-craving reward cycle shows how behaviors become automatic. Lust wires itself into that loop quietly. You don't notice the chains until they tighten. You think you're using it, but it's been using you for a while now. Watch Jin-Woo in the Jeju raid, commanding an army of shadows. Thousands behind him, Baru kneeling. He's the king, the monarch, the chosen one. But look at his face. There's no joy, no peace, only silence, pressure, weight. This isn't mastery. It's management of something too big, too hungry, too easy to lose control of. He's not leading the shadows. He's surviving them. At first, it's just watching something, or scrolling, or fantasizing. You say, this helps me cope. Then it becomes, I need this to cope. Then one day, you can't remember the last time you didn't need it. You're no longer the one holding a remote. You're the one being programmed. You were never the king. You were the servant dressed in royal robes, taking orders from a voice you thought was your own. Lust doesn't always feel like fire. Sometimes it feels like routine, like numbness, like normal. But because the chains are quiet, doesn't mean they're gone. Interrupt the autopilot. Start tracking your behaviors. What time? What trigger? What emotion? Bring awareness to what was previously automatic. Starve the shadow. Lust dies when you stop feeding it. One choice, one night, one win at a time. No one falls in public. They fall in private. You don't lose the war in front of the crowd. You lose it in the quiet. When you're alone, when the phone's glowing at 2 a.m. and it's just you and the algorithm. You say, it's not that bad, but your screen time tells a different story. Modern psychology calls this the disinhibition effect. When you're alone and online, you become someone else, someone you think no one will ever find out about. But that secret self, it's the one shaping you most. Back in Season 1, before Jin-Woo becomes the Shadow Monarch, he lies broken in a hospital bed, barely alive. And yet, the system glows in front of him. Blue, cold, flickering like a neon temptation. No one's watching. No one's guiding him. It's just Jin-Woo and the dungeon inside his mind. Accept the quest or walk away. He chooses the quest. Not because he's strong, but because he's desperate. You know the moment, it's late, you feel off. You say, just 5 minutes. Then it's 50. Your eyes are dry, your heart's hollow. You wipe the screen, but the guilt stays. You're not alone in this. Sure, 5 minutes at 2:04 a.m. never hurt anyone, except your brain, your soul, and your search history. Lust doesn't wait for the battle. It waits for silence. Because when you're isolated, you're most influenced. It's not the dungeon outside that's killing you, it's the one in your pocket. Pre-commit to your lonely hours. Block apps. Kill notifications. No tech after midnight. Create friction between you and failure. Make the wrong choice inconvenient. Set rules that your tired self can't override. Because the silence isn't your enemy, but what lives in it might be. The stronger you get, the louder the hunger becomes. You thought if you just leveled up enough, if you were disciplined enough, you could kill the urges completely. But now you're stronger and temptation still shows up. Discipline isn't a phase. According to Dr. Angela Duckworth, true grit isn't about intensity, it's about consistency. The real battle starts after you level up, because now you've got more to lose. Luck doesn't knock at your weakest. It circles back at your peak. It says, you've earned this just one time. You're strong enough to handle it. That's the final boss. Entitlement dressed as freedom. The Ant King is pure hunger, killing for the thrill of it. It doesn't think, doesn't reflect, just devours. And Jin-Woo, he could become that. He has the power, the army, but when the fight ends, he's still standing, bloodied, bruised, breathing. Because he didn't lose himself. He remembered who he was fighting for. You can have six-packs, success, and status, and still be enslaved in private. You can build a kingdom and still be ruled by shadows. Jin-Woo didn't win because he had more strength. He won because he chose restraint. He saw what the Ant King became and said, "Not me, not like this." Ask yourself, am I leading my desires or being led by them? Don't aim to kill your urges. Aim to command them. Train them. Starve them when needed. Because you're not the Shadow Monarch until you rule your shadows. Every man faces monsters. Some have fangs. Some wear armor. But the deadliest, they live inside you. Lust doesn't knock down your door. It whispers at it. Softly, repeatedly. Until one day, you're the one who opens it. And when you do, it doesn't take everything at once. It just keeps asking for more. Your time, your focus, your fire. Until you're left numb, disoriented, chained. But here's the truth. You're not weak. You're just untrained, like Jin-Woo, bleeding, broken, crawling toward purpose. You can rise, but only if you stop feeding the thing that's feeding off you. Kill your lust, or it kills you. You were never meant to live in the shadows. So step out of the dungeon, not because you're finished fighting, but because now you're finally ready to win.